Hi, and welcome to Pet Pals. Every week we showcase animals that are looking for forever homes at the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. I'm Linda Shea. With me today is Randy Cooper. And the first little dog we're going to take a look at is not quite so little. This is Rennie. She's almost 45 pounds. She is an elk-hound mix. And at 9 months of age, she's considered a puppy. So if you're interested in a dog like this, anything that's under a year old at our shelter, we have the potential adopters go through what we call a puppy process. Rennie is only about 9 months old, and she is now looking for her third family in life. She had a family originally. They gave her away to the folks that brought her to us. So she is now looking for her third family in 9 months. And the reason she was turned into the shelter is that the folks that had her most recently didn't have time for a dog. So that's something that you want to really give consideration to, and that's the reason why we kind of developed our puppy process. Puppies are fun. They are typically enthusiastic about life. You have the opportunity to take a young puppy and turn it into an awesome adult dog, but all of that requires time, it requires commitment, it requires resources. So a lot of folks don't recognize the things that go into turning a young puppy into an awesome adult dog. So that's why we have our puppy process. It's just a little bit of extra screening that we do to make the best match for the dog. We want to make sure that it's a success for the adopters as well. But this is Rennie. Again, we have her down as an elk-hound mix. Oftentimes when dogs come in that look like a mix of a few different breeds, we take what we see predominantly, and typically that's what we put first. But we've got, I would say there might be some shepherd in there per her previous owners, and a few other breeds as well. But if you're interested in a younger dog but not quite a young puppy, this is Rennie, and she's only about 9 months old. This handsome fella came to us, believe it or not, as a stray, and a lot of times we look at dogs like this and we know they belong to somebody at some point. Came to us as a stray right down the street on Rosemont Avenue. So if you're missing a dog like this, or if you know of somebody missing a dog like this, you want to send them to the shelter. We named this dog Flynn Rider. I've been told that that's a character off of Tangled. So that's where the name comes from. He's about 2 years old. He is a very, very handsome Mastiff mix. You can tell he's brindle. He's got some white on him. He's already neutered, so again, we know that he came from somebody somewhere who may not know to look in the shelter for him. We do color code our dogs. We behavior assess all of our dogs, and while that's not 100% guarantee of their temperament, it certainly does not predict any future behavior, but it gives us a good snapshot of their overall demeanor at the time of when we assess them. So we have Flynn Rider as color-coded green, and what that means is essentially he is fairly shy. You'd never know that right now, but overall fairly shy. In his kennels, he's a little suspect of strangers, so you want to move slowly around him, and we do have him designated preferably to a family with older children or even an adult home only. And the reason we've done that is, again, because he's shy. Came to us as a stray, so we don't have any history on him. We only know what we've been witnessing here at the shelter. But he's a good boy. Again, if you are missing animals from anywhere in the county, or even adjacent counties, you want to make sure that you check local animal shelters in your county and adjacent counties, just because animals travel, or Good Samaritans might pick up an animal in one area, and if that animal escapes, if you do find a stray animal, you want to call it into your local animal control division so that they can respond and bring the animal to the shelter. But again, this is Flynn Rider. He's about 2 years old, Mastiff mix. And if you're interested in him, I suggest you come in and visit. He's certainly very agreeable to visitors and very sweet boy. This little girl is Maya. She is about 5 to 6 years old. She's a Chihuahua mix. And she came to us just about a week ago, and a lot of times Chihuahuas automatically seem to have that nervous little shake, but Maya really is scared in the shelter. It's sometimes overwhelming. The shelter is full of, at any given time, full of barking dogs and meowing cats and certainly lots and lots of visitors. When we can, we place dogs like this into foster care, but she seems to be able to hold her own, and she's acclimated fairly well. So we've kept her in the shelter instead of putting her in foster care. But Maya's about 11.5 pounds. We've brought her up to speed on vaccines that she needs. And she actually had been adopted from our shelter back in 2013. And part of our adoption contract states that if for some reason you can no longer keep an animal that you adopt from us, it does need to come back to the shelter. So we have her here again, and she is available for adoption. She is already microchipped, she's already spayed. Because of her temperament, her disposition, and her little shy nature, we do have her slated also for older children and adult home only. And it's not, we don't do that just to simply arbitrarily restrict animals. We do that with the animals in mind, and also the safety of people that are adopting. We want to make sure that whenever we have an adoption happen, that it's as successful as we can possibly predict. There's no 100% guarantees that things are going to work out, but we look at the animal that we have in our possession, we assess their behavior, their demeanor, their history, their background, and we try to make the best possible match with the folks that might be interested. So if you do have younger children, Maya would not be a good choice for you, but we certainly have lots of other dogs at the moment. We have over 200 animals in our, not in our facility per se, some are in foster care, but in our system at the moment. So if you're looking for a dog, if you're looking for a cat or any other animal, you want to make sure that you keep checking back. But this little girl, Maya, is available for adoption. She's looking for her, at least her third home in her lifetime. So we want to make sure that this next one is her last stop. This handsome guy is Thor. Thor is a Siberian Husky. He's about 2 years old, so essentially in Siberian Husky terms, he's really just a puppy. We have him under our puppy process, so again, that's not to make adoption difficult, but it is to recognize that some dogs, some animals in general, just have specific needs. So we want to make the best possible match we can to make sure that Thor goes to a home that has preferably Siberian Husky experience, or that you've done at least your research in understanding what the breed is about. A lot of times Siberians have that sled dog mentality. So unlike retrievers, that where you throw something, the retriever will typically go get it and bring it back to you, Siberians are almost hardwired to run away, to run the opposite direction of their owners, which can be challenging, can be frustrating if that's not what you're used to. Also, Thor has this gorgeous red sable and white coat that will require some brushing, and at least a vacuum run around the house at least once a week. So those are things that you want to make sure that you take into consideration when you're considering adopting a gorgeous dog like this. Thor came to us. He is also looking for at least his third home in his 2 years of life. He started off with a family who gave him away online, and then the family that acquired him from the online process has brought him here due to their moving and cannot take him along. So prior to leaving here, Thor will be neutered. We've gone ahead and brought him up to speed on vaccines, deworming, preventatives. We do have him, again, marked as puppy process. We recommend older children and adult home only, but again, that really is up for discussion. It's case by case. We very rarely will do things very black and white in the shelter, because we know that there are families out there that may have younger children with Siberian experience and understand completely what this dog needs. So that's our goal. A lot of it is just education. We want to make sure that you're not blindsided when you get a dog like Thor home. We want to make sure that you understand everything that he needs and what the expectations are. But again, this is Thor. He's our Siberian Husky, beautiful at 2 years old. So if you're looking for a dog that will keep you active and busy, he would be a good choice. Oh. This cute little girl is Coco. She is another Chihuahua that's in the mix of adoptable dogs at the shelter. She's about 3 to 4 years old, and she is also a return to shelter, meaning that she was adopted from us a couple of years ago, and then the family that adopted her chose to move, and they are moving to somewhere that does not allow pets. So when you are adopting or acquiring pets in any capacity, you want to make sure that you consider those things. Dogs are a lifetime commitment, cats, bunnies, animals are really, should be a lifetime commitment. And while we understand that circumstances change, there are options when you're moving. We've got several pet-friendly communities in the Frederick area, and I know other places have those as well. So it's something that you just want to give consideration to. Certainly a dog like Coco, she is a little bit shy. We have her slated as older children, adult home only, and she is color-coded green. So again, our dogs are behavior assessed, and they are color-coded to offer some more information to potential adopters just on their disposition, on their temperament, and just to give an idea of what would make a suitable home. But this little girl, again, is Coco. She's about 3 to 4 years old, just over 11 pounds. So if you're looking for a little toy breed that would be a great lap companion, Coco would be a good choice. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at a collection of kittens that we've got here available for adoption at the Frederick County Division of Animal Control.
Seniors stay active and engaged in the community while making new friends by participating in events at Frederick County Senior Centers. Each of the 4 centers provide a variety of educational, health, fitness, and recreational activities, as well as resources to help area seniors maintain their wellness and independence. Nutritious congregate meals are offered daily for contributions of up to $5, and limited transportation services are provided for seniors 60 and older. Advanced registration is required for both of these services. Contact your local senior center for specific information about the programs and services offered in your area.
Did you know that one of the leading causes of death in America is motor vehicle accidents? Hello, I'm Sergeant Jody Maybush of the Frederick County Sheriff's Office. According to the Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration, each year traffic crashes kill more people in Maryland than homicides, and over 90% of total crashes are preventable incidents caused by driver error. Motorists can help law enforcement in preventing these tragedies by making the right choices on the road. Remember, speed kills, so slow down. For every mile per hour that you drive, the likelihood of you being involved in a crash significantly increases. Avoid distractions such as talking, texting, or emailing while you drive, and always wear your safety belt. The most important thing is that you arrive to your destination safely. So please, drive smart and help us in keeping Maryland roadways safe.
Are you a fan of Facebook? Hooked on Twitter? Now you can stay connected to County Executive Jan Gardner using your favorite social media platforms. Like, follow, and subscribe today.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. Now we're going to take a look at 5 of the cutest kittens that you'll ever see this week at the shelter. This is Harper, one of my personal favorites at the shelter. Harper's a little boy, came to us just a couple of weeks ago, previously owned, and he's about 3.5 pounds, about 14 weeks of age. And what I really appreciated when his owner turned him in, the owner kept a track of a couple of kittens for a while, and we always ask, where did you acquire your cat or kitten from? And he put that Harper was kitten, of his now spayed female indoor cat. So we appreciate hearing that. So the owner obviously realized that having an intact female that was allowed to go outdoors was not the appropriate thing to do. So Harper's mom is now spayed and she's maintained indoors, so that will prevent unwanted litters, and we are extremely excited to hear that. If you have cats in your possession or any pets that you would like to get spayed or neutered and you need low-cost information on that, please contact the shelter. We have information. There's several programs out there that you may qualify for. Some have no financial restrictions or income restrictions, so we have lots of information if you're interested in doing that. But Harper was a product of obviously an intact female cat, but he's here now looking for a forever home. He's been snap tested negative for leukemia and FIV. Those are two viruses that cats can transmit cat to cat. We brought him up to speed on vaccines, and he is one of our most adorable kittens that's available for adoption now. This little guy is Clint. He is a sibling to Harper, who we just looked at. Clint is also about 14 weeks of age. Same situation. He's about 4.5 pounds, so he's on the larger side of the litter. And typically every year we take in twice as many cats and kittens as we do any other species. So last year we took in over 3,000 felines in our facility, which is a lot. So we are always pleased. Clint is another kitten that came to us. He was the product of an unspayed female cat that was allowed to go outdoors. So now the owner has remedied that, and we are much appreciative that this owner got his female mom cat spayed and is maintaining her indoors. So we're very happy about that. But Clint is a product of before that era, so he's here now looking for a forever home. He has also been brought up to speed on vaccines, on deworming, on preventatives, tested for feline leukemia and feline immunodeficiency virus, tested negative for both of those things. Prior to leaving here, he will be neutered. He'll be microchipped in the event he gets away from his owner. Microchipping allows for permanent identification, and we go ahead and register that for you. Kitten adoption fees are $97.50, and that's a deal. It covers getting kittens spayed or neutered, current on vaccines, preventatives, deworming, get a free vet visit with participating vets in the Frederick community, county license, a rabies vaccine. So there's a lot that goes into that $97.50. So again, this is Clint. He's just one of many kittens that are actually now on the adoption floor. So if you've been patient through the summer and waiting to adopt a kitten, now is a good time. This little guy is named Cream. When we were picking kittens for the show today, we try to get a variety of colors. So Cream is a domestic short hair cream tabby. He is a product of foster care, and so often, I know you've heard me say this before if you're a fan of Pet Pals, but people specially request or come in looking specifically for kittens that have been in foster care because they know that they have been handled by young children, typically teenagers. They're used to the environment of a family. They're well socialized. They have been held and cuddled, and they're just used to people. So Cream is one of those examples. He is about 14 weeks old now, was in foster care, came to us at the end of August. So a lot of times when kittens come in underage, we have a wonderful network of foster care providers that provide temporary care for especially underage kittens or animals that have behavior issues, that might have some health needs that need special one-on-one attention. So that's what our foster care providers do. So if you have ever been to our shelter and you've interacted with a kitten like Cream and you were thinking, gee, maybe this is something I'd like to do myself, please inquire at the front desk about how to become a foster care provider. It's not difficult. The process is essentially you fill out an application. We do a home visit, and it's not to see how clean your house is. It really is just to allow us some uninterrupted time to interact with you and answer any questions you might have. But Cream is a good example of a kitten that is a product of foster care, and he is now available for adoption. This little girl is named Skeeter. She's a domestic medium hair. She's got those tufts on her ears of longer fur. And she's your basic, well, not necessarily basic black and white cat. She's pretty symmetrically marked. She's got almost like little white mittens on her feet, and the rest of her is black. She's also about 13, 14 weeks of age. She came to us in mid-July, so again, for all of those patient adopters that have been waiting for kittens, maybe waiting till school got started up and vacations were over with, and if you're looking for a kitten for your home, we now have plenty of kittens that are now returning from foster care. Skeeter is just over 4 pounds. We've brought her up to speed on vaccines, on preventatives prior to leaving here. She will be spayed, she will be microchipped. We will register that microchip for her adopters. And I recommend if you're thinking about introducing a kitten into your family, you want to come in and visit. You want to make sure that you get the benefit of interacting with the kittens as we do. You know, pet them, handle them. Make sure you look at their medicals to see what their history is, and look for anything that the foster care provider might be able to offer to you. But this little girl is definitely affectionate. You can see she's very comfortable with being held, being handled, and again, just a great example of a foster care kitten. So again, this is Skeeter, and she is looking for an adoptive family. The last little kitty we're going to take a look at is Kittybug. She is a domestic medium hair. Again, you can tell the tufts in her ears. She's got a little longer length of fur, and she is our example of a gray and white bicolor cat. She's about 13, 14 weeks also. She is a sibling to Skeeter, and she is also a product of foster care. So again, I really encourage you, if you're looking for kittens to include in your family to adopt, you want to come into the shelter and interact, because even though they're all beautiful, they all have unique personalities and temperaments. So you really want to give thought to what temperament, what personality you're interested in including in your family. And some people prefer kittens that might be a little more independent. Some people prefer kittens that might be a little more needy. And certainly give consideration to adopting maybe 2 kittens at the same time if you are petless at the moment. Kittens keep each other company if they are siblings. A lot of times they've already had exposure to one another. There's sort of a level of comfort when they go into a new family if they have each other to kind of keep each other comfortable and secure. But Kittybug is a great example of a kitten that came to us mid-July. So she's been in our system since July 15th, came in at about 10 days old. So if you can imagine this little gray and white girl with her eyes just opening at 10 days of age, and then put into foster care and cared for, and now she's the beautiful kitten that you see now that's ready for a forever family. So if you're looking for kittens, again, I suggest that you come in and visit. And that wraps it up for this week's Pet Pals. We always appreciate your watching the show. If you have seen any animals here that you're interested in adopting, or if you have friends or family that are looking for an animal to adopt, we hope that you direct them to the shelter. Have a great week, and we will see you next time on Pet Pals.